A no sex clause between the friends. I said I heard this rumor that there was a no sex clause, and Schwimmer said, well, that was broken. Who was David Schwimmer referring to? Okay.
So back by popular demand by my subscribers is another video about Matthew Perry. If you've been here before, you know what this is about. Let's get going.
You may plead the fifth to one. This is, of course, a Friends edition of Plead the Fifth.
All right.
Okay. Marry, shag, kill your Friends co-stars. Aniston, Kudrow, Courtney Cox. Your Plead the Fifth is available.
Oh, no. No. I'm gonna plead the fifth right there.
All right, fine. I understand.
A couple things in that first clip I want to draw your attention to. First of all, some of the reactions that he has are things that we do all the time. So let's begin with this one. You're going to see him be very uncomfortable with the thought and the visual that goes with that first question. And you're going to see him squeeze his eyes shut and do a face palm. This is called eye blocking.
Your Friends co-stars.
It can mean lots of things. It can mean that we're irritated by what we just heard. We don't want to think about what we just saw. There's all kinds of reasons for it. It's all dependent on the context. This one is pretty clear. Check out this article by Psychology Today. This is important. Check this out. It says that eye blocking behaviors such as shielding the eyes, lowering the eyelids for a prolonged period, and delaying opening the eyes are so hardwired in us that children who are born blind, when they hear something they don't like, will also cover their eyes. This is important because studies have been done that show that blind children and blind adults who have never seen do this. It's a natural reaction. Now back to that Psychology Today article. It says eye blocking is just one of the more obvious things that we do when we are troubled, frustrated, or struggling with something emotionally. Our eyelids may also close hard and remain closed. What does all this mean? When we're struggling with a visual, we close our eyes.
Your Plead the Fifth is available.
Oh, no. No.
If you look at Matthew's face, his eyes are squeezed shut, his nose is pinched up, his upper lip comes up. You're making everything in your face small. And so that really coincides with this. This is the face of disgust. Lowered eyebrows, wrinkling on the side of the bridge of the nose. Upper lip is raised in an inverted U, and that's depending on whether or not you're able to do that. And lower lip is raised and slightly protruding. It's the classic face of disgust. And when you see what Matthew Perry does, it's kind of similar to that. But the funny thing is, he's not disgusted with the idea of the ladies that he was on the show with. It's that he's disgusted because he's thinking about them in ways that are not sexual. He's developed a relationship with them where he respects them, he loves them. Sure, he understands that they're beautiful, but he doesn't cross that bridge with them. It doesn't sit well with him.
After James Burrow's tribute last year, Lisa Kudrow denied the existence of a no sex clause between the friends. I said I heard this rumor that there was a no sex clause, and Schwimmer said, well, that was broken. Who was David Schwimmer referring to?
I don't know. I don't know who he was referring to.
You don't know?
No, I think there was no sex between any of them.
You don't?
Yeah. I mean, at least, or I was really missing something.
Right, okay. You never partook with any...
I did not.
Right, okay.
No.
All right, I want you to watch Matthew Perry's eyes as he begins to process what's being said to him. We all do this in one way or another. When we process information, our eyes can sometimes dart around like this. Sometimes when people process, they close their eyes really tight and think. And sometimes when people process, they look in the distance like this. They look through somebody. They may be looking toward them, but they're not really looking at them. They're kind of looking through them. So watch his eyes here.
Of a no sex clause between the friends. I said I heard this.
In this next piece, you'll see that he's staring down, but he's not really looking at anything. It's possibly internal processing, because when most people look down, they're thinking either something, they're having a conversation in their own head, or they're asking themselves questions, or in this case, what he's doing is he's simply staring at nothing as he's processing what was being said.
Well, that was broken. Who was David Schwimmer referring to?
I don't know. I don't know who he was referring to.
You don't know?
So in this next one, watch when he uses illustrators, meaning his hands are illustrating the points that he's making.
No, I think there was no sex between any of them.
You don't?
Yeah. I mean, at least, or I was really missing something.
Right, okay.
And then, of course, there's a classic tongue-in-cheek statement. You may have heard that a bunch of times. And that's exactly what Matthew does here.
I mean, at least, or I was really missing something.
Right, okay. You never partook with
I did
any.
not.
Right.
No.
Okay. Name a storyline from Friends that you thought jumped the shark, or you thought when you got the script, is this really happening?
There was a storyline on Friends where Chandler went to a male strip joint because he really liked the sandwiches.
Right.
And I called up and I said, let's not do this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you prevail?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matthew Perry. Well played.
Thank you.
Very well played.
A couple things in this clip, but let's start with this one. Once again, we're looking at Matthew's eyes. When he is processing information and he's ready to speak, his eyes go kind of back and forth, side to side, as they're searching for the right words and the right information to make his point. You'll notice this a lot in this clip coming up.
There was a storyline on Friends where Chandler went to a male strip joint.
I'm going to zoom in on his eyes. I want you to watch this as he's processing words. You'll see his eyes move back and forth.
Where Chandler went to a male strip joint because he really liked the sandwiches.
Now in this last clip, I want you to notice he's going to do what we call image management. He's going to say something and then he's going to realize as he's saying it that he doesn't want to offend a big chunk of his own audience. So you're going to see some image management at the end of this. See if you catch it and then I'll show you what it is.
Right.
And I called up and I said, let's not do this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you prevail?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matthew Perry.
Now notice when he said, let's not do this one, all of a sudden, as soon as he stops saying it, he does the squished face of disgust where his eyes come in, his brows go down, his nose retches up a little bit, his lips narrow. And he doesn't do the entire face because he catches himself, because he realizes he's got a group of people that watch this show that are fans of his that may or may not be into a lifestyle that he at that point didn't want to really exhibit on Friends. But he still doesn't want to offend anybody. So what he does is, as he catches himself, you'll see him do the face, kind of the yucky face of disgust. Then as he realizes that he doesn't want to offend anybody, he tries to do what's called image management by wiping it away. He will reach up and rub his eye and move his face like this, but there's really nothing in his eye because he doesn't blink before, he doesn't blink after, there's nothing that's irritating his eye. It is a natural but also subliminal response to saying, uh-oh, the face I just made might offend somebody, so I'm going to wipe it off. And he simply disguises it by pretending to wipe his eye. People do it all the time without thinking. This is part of body language that all of us do, and we learn to do it to not offend people. So now see if you catch it knowing that.
Right.
And I called up and I said, let's not do this one.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you prevail?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Matthew Perry. Well played.
Thank you.
Very well played.
Matthew is an interesting character. He's got many baseline things that we can look at, and you can kind of know what he's thinking because he's pretty easy to read. But it's always interesting to look at a little bit deeper probe into what makes these people interesting. Now do me a favor, if you're still here, click on one of these other videos. There's another Matthew Perry video that I would love for you to check out, and I will see you guys in the next video.